Okay, we are in the middle of deriving the form tiras kritya, which means antarhitam kritva, having concealed. We started the derivation by bringing in the affix ktva by 3-4-21 samanakritrikayoho purvakale, and then we took kru ktva and compounded it with tiras, because we are considering the case where tiras does have the optional designation gati by the Sutram 1472 Vibhasha Kringi, and therefore 2-18 Kuggati Pradayaha allowed us to compound. Then we did the usual steps, replaced ktva by lyap using 7137 samase naing purve ktvo lyap. Then we brought in the augment tuk by 6171 rasvasya pitikriti tuk. That augment attached itself following the short letter r of kr, and then we got the substitution ru in place of letter sa of tiras. After that we applied 8315 karavasanayor visarjaniyaha to get tiraha kritya, following which we applied 8337 kuppoha kahpaucha to get the two form tirah kritya or tiraha kritya. And now we are taking 8342, so we can get the third form by optionally replacing the visargaha by the letter sa. Okay, so let's look at this Sutram 8342 in detail. It reads tiraso anyatarasyam. Anavritti of saha is coming down from 8338 so padadau. Anavritti of visarjani yasya is coming down from 8334 visarjani yasya saha. Anavritti of kupvoho is coming down from 8337 kupvoha kahpaucha. Putting all that together, we get the vritti as tiraso gatisanyasya sovasyat kupvoho parayoho, which means that a visargaha belonging to the term tiras is optionally substituted by the letter sa, provided tiras has a designation gati and is followed by letter of the ka vargaha, ka, kha, ga, gha, nga, or pa vargaha, pa, pha, ba, bha, ma. Remember that the visargaha is generated by the Sutram 8315 karavasanayor visarjaniyaha. So therefore, letter of the ka vargaha or pa vargaha, which is following the visargaha, is going to be a khar letter. So the only possibilities are ka, kha or pa, pha. And as we already explained when we are studying the Sutram 1472, according to some grammarians, the anuvritti of gati from the Sutram 8340 namaspurasor gatyoho is not taken into the Sutram 8342. This may be deduced from the fact that in the well-accepted form tiraskaraha, meaning contempt or disrespect, the substitution sa does take place, even though tiras is not used here in the sense of concealing or disappearing, and hence does not have the designation gati by 1471 tiro antardhau. The condition antardhau is not satisfied, therefore tiras does not have the gati sanya in the form tiraskaraha, but still the substitution sa does take place. So if tiraskaraha is accepted as a valid form, then we have to conclude that the anuvritti of gati does not come into the Sutram 8342 tiraso anyatarasyam. Okay, right now we are at the stage where we have tirah kritya or tiraha kritya, and right now we are considering the case where tiras does have the gati sanya. So therefore 8342 comes and performs the optional substitution sa in place of the visargaha. So we get the third form tiras kritya. So now we have three optional forms: tirah kritya or tiraha kritya or tiras kritya. All mean the same thing: antarhitam kritva, having concealed. Now these three optional forms are all for the case where tiras does have the gati sanya, which is optional by 1472 vibhasha kringi. Now let us take a look at a situation where the optional gati sanya is not applied to tiras. So gati abhava pakshe, what we have is, first we attach the affix ktva to the verbal root kru using the Sutram 3-4-21 samanakritrikayoho purvakale. But now no compounding is possible between tiras and kru ktva, because this is the case in which tiras does not have the optional designation gati, and hence the sutram 2.2.18 kugati pradaya cannot apply. So tiras is a prusak padam and so is kruktva. Tiras is a avyayam and so is kruktva by the sutram 1.140. Ktva tosun kasunaha. Okay, now the letter Ka of the affix ktva gets the designation it by 138 lashakvatadite, and then takes lopaha by 139 tasya lopaha. So now we have tiras kritva. Now we replace the letter sa of tiras by ru using the sutram 8.2.66 sasajusho ruho. Remember that tiras is avyayam, therefore the default sup affix following tiras has already taken the look elision by 2.4.82 avyadap supaha. Therefore tiras has the designation padam by the sutram 1.4.14 suptingantam padam with the help of the paribhasha sutram 1.162 pratyaya lope pratyaya lakshanam. The nasal vowel u of ru gets the it designation by 1.32 upadeshe janunasika it, and takes lopaha by 1.39 tasya lopaha. And now 8.3.15 karavasanayor visarjaniyaha replaces that letter ra by the visargaha because it is followed by a kar letter, which in this case is the letter ka. So we get tiraha kritva. Then we apply 8.3.37 kupoho kahpaucha to optionally replace the visargaha by the jivva muliya. So we get tirah kritva or tiraha kritva, and also possibly tiras kritva in the opinion of those grammarians who do not take the anuvritti of gati into the sutram 8.3.42. As we already explained, if we take tiraskaraha as a valid form, then we have to assume that the anuvritti of gati does not come into the sutram 8.3.42, which means that we can make the substitution sa in place of the visarga of tiras even when tiras does not have the gati sanya, and therefore we get the additional optional form tiras kritva. So that's how we get these 6 forms in total. The 3 forms tirah kritya or tiraha kritya or tiras kritya. That's when tiras is assigned the optional designation gati by the sutram 1.4.72. Now when the optional designation gati is not assigned to tiras, then we get the 2 forms tirah kritva or tiraha kritva and also possibly tiras kritva, assuming that we do not take the anuvritti of gati into the sutram 8.3.42.